let's have mercy grips, just so we are 50-50. Okay, let's look it in this direction. The thing is, in wrestling, a lot of people are saying that you want to have your head on the same side where the underhook is. Okay, but you also see wrestlers that have their head on the other side. I personally think both is correct as long as you understand what to do with it. If my head is on the other side and I use this to push my partner out, this will help me to push my partner out. This is what the Iranian wrestlers are doing. The US wrestlers are not doing it. They have a little bit of a different system, but the Iranian wrestlers, they really bring their head there just to run you out. Okay? And if I run my partner out, what will my partner do in wrestling? He will push back, exactly. And this is the time where I go into all of my underhook attacks, knee taps, whatever, body locks, everything. But in Jiu-Jitsu, we are not aggressive or athletic with it. What we do, we just use the grip. And this is the thing that a lot of Jiu-Jitsu players are doing. They see it and they mimic it, but they don't understand why the underhook is so important from there. If I have my head on the other side and I'm not running my partner out, he can do everything to me. Why? Because he can apply weight on his overhook. Exactly. And now the moment he applies weight on the overhook, that's it. I can't use my athleticism anymore. And this is basically one of the biggest parts of our DVD, that we understand that the underhook is an athletic position. You want to run with it, you want to elevate your partner with it. The overhook is a position where you can apply weight. So if you're static, and we are static in Jiu-Jitsu wrestling a lot of times just because of the longer time period, we stand like this, not like this. We are not running into each other. We are moving slowly. So if I move slowly here, this is a lazy underhook, and you will get punished for it if you watch this DVD and know what to do. Okay? Even if Jiu-Jitsu players are using a near side head underhook like this, they are not really using their head in here. Okay? Wrestlers will use their head the whole time, and they will manage to have inside hip position. Even if I'm not close to my partner, I see that my hip is on the inside. If he tries to beat the line, the imaginary line here, by going forward, I need to go with him. I can't allow him to do this. I can only allow him to be in front of me with the hip if I break his posture, if his head is behind his hips. Okay? So what Jiu-Jitsu people are doing, even if they're here, they're just staying here. But it's the same thing. If I'm not moving my partner with the underhook, the only thing he needs to do is to lay on the, he needs to lay on the lazy underhook. And that's it. So you see, on both sides, if you're not using it athletically, this is a lazy underhook. And Jiu-Jitsu people are getting away with it just because we are not playing the overhook properly. Okay? Most Jiu-Jitsu people are just, do the underhook on me, the lazy one. Yeah. They are just having the overhook in to have it in because they understand, okay, an overhook, you can use it against an underhook. But they are not using the overhook exactly like they are not using the underhook. You need to put weight on the overhook. The weight is now distributed. You need to shift the weight with the underhook. The weight is distributed. And this is the biggest difference between under and overhook. Underhook, athleticism. Overhook, weight distribution. And I really hope that in 1 to 2 years, we don't see any Jiu-Jitsu guy staying like this and not doing anything. Okay? You need to move your partner somehow if you play the underhook. So in the next portion, we will talk about the rules for the overhook. I like to have rules in place for all the systems, positions, whatever we do, just so we can rely on the rules. I believe if I can teach you the rules and you have the rules, let's say after 1 or 2 days, even if you don't know any technique and you follow the rules, you will have success with it, opposed to if I give you 1 or 2 techniques. Because if someone has a technique, but he doesn't have the rules and I manipulate the rules, he only knows this technique, it will not work. Because this technique only works with rules. So let's start with rule number 1. So let's start with rule number 1, and this is control the hand. This is probably one of the most important things in wrestling in general. So let's say Linus has an underhook. It doesn't really matter now for me if he's athletic with it or if he plays it like a jiu-jitsu player, because we always want to control the hand. Okay, let's call this the secondary hand, and the primary hand is the underhook. If my partner can do anything with this hand, he can't really use this underhook aggressively. Okay, there's no push-out rule. So let's say, for example, Linus tries to use the underhook to do a throw-by without the hand. Don't use the hand. Try to throw-by. It's almost impossible. If he tries to knee tap me without the hand, try to knee tap me, he can't, right? Because there's nothing that can hold down my leg. Okay? If he tries to body lock me without the hand, how if he's not allowed to use the hand? And this is a very powerful rule. You see it in Linus' face. When I told him, knee tap me, he's like, something is not working out here, okay? So you need to understand that you want to control this secondary hand. Now people think of control by just grabbing it, okay? This is a method of control. But if he grabs me, I can also control his hand. How? If I push it there, for example, but he wants to pin it to my leg, and he can't pin it to my leg, I control the hand. If I can pull him, but he can't pull me, I control the hand. Okay? So let's look over some methods of how we can actually control the hand. If I have the wrist, this is the best, because I control the right side of Linus' body. So for example, I can pull it, and now you see I can transfer his weight to his right leg immediately. And in wrestling, I always say one thing. The man who can manipulate the stance or the weight distribution of the partner without that he wants me to do it will win. So if I can move my partner against his will, I will win. This is a better sentence. So I can push it into him. Okay, again, if he tries to knee tap me or do whatever, if I can